Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I'm Brett Chapin. We're talking with the Theater at Boston Court's Executive Director, Mr. Michael Seal. If you have any questions for Michael, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. And thank you so much for coming back, Michael.
My pleasure. It's exciting to be back. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So what's going on at Boston Court these days?
What's going on at Boston Court? Actually, right now it's a little quiet, but we're prepping for a busy fall season. We've got a world premiere play coming up that opens October 13th. It's called Creation, directed by Boston Court Artistic Director Michael McKetty, and stars Jonathan McLean, Adam Silver, Ethan Raines, and a La La Land Talk favorite, Deborah Pouet.
We love Deborah.
Yes. It's exciting. She is back on our stage for the first time since 2005, and it's been a long dry spell for us, but I love having her back in the building. It's such a great energy.
I love your graphic that you have for the show. It's
Isn't it
very
great?
cool.
Yeah. And there's Deborah right there, along with Jonathan. So yeah, it's a really exciting piece. World premiere by Catherine Wallet, and sort of goes off the premise of a couple of married couple, both doctors in their own fields, and he gets struck by lightning. But they are both very scientific in their lives, and he all of a sudden starts questioning his belief system because he starts hearing this glorious music in his head, and he can't get it to stop. And so it's something that's happened in his brain patterns. She tries to explain it in her mind through her scientific knowledge, but he's questioning really how things are created and where they come from.
Sounds really interesting.
It's very interesting. Beautiful music that's being written for it by our composer, sound designer, Bruno Lashorn. And it's very exciting, yes.
Great.
Yeah.
And that's opening on October 13th and running through November 11th with a possible 2-week extension.
Possible 2 extension. We'll see how it goes. That's
Great.
what we always look at.
Find information on it, guys, at bostoncourt.com. And, you know, the thing I really like about Boston Court is you guys do all original works.
Not all original works. We do mostly original works.
Mostly original, okay.
Sometimes we'll do a classic, but it's always got to have our own twist to it, whether it's a change in a setting or just a different take on it. We do look at classics and do, 2 years ago, we did Luis Alfaro's Oedipus El Rey, which was his take on Oedipus the King. It was a national New Play Network rolling world premiere, which we did alongside of the Magic Theater in San Francisco and Woolly Mammoth in Washington, D.C. And so that sort of, and that took that story and set it in East L.A., present day, and just gave it a new life and a new understanding. That's the sort of things that we do with that kind of work. Earlier this year we did a new play called The Treatment, as a collaboration with Theater Movement Bazaar, but it actually looked at Chekhov's a short story that Chekhov had done and just sort of recreated it and put it with a lot of movement-based work in the theater, which was in it. Actually, Tina Kronis, who is the director choreographer, just received an Ovation nomination for her choreography for that show. So,
fantastic.
So that's sort of what we do. But a lot of our stuff is new work, and we're known for doing new works.
Do you find that doing new work gives you a more opportunity to get better exposure? Do you think, or is that
it's
why?
tough. It's tough because there is we have a great. We're going into our 10th season, starting in 2013. We have great subscriber members, great audiences. They trust us now because when we announce a season, you're not going to really know a name of a play. So you've got to sort of trust us in what's going on. So in that sense, people who like to explore are willing to come along for the ride. Not necessarily for everybody, and we're aware of that. So and we do a lot of programming around the plays to give people the opportunity to talk about them, to explore with us, because it's some tough topics and some tough storytelling too sometimes.
Sure.
So
You got to have people that are prepared for that.
Prepared.
Yeah.
Which is what we're really finding out, that we sometimes need to prepare our audience a little bit more than we do. We're actually contemplating doing an insert in our programs that says spoiler alert, a folded piece of paper that says, if you want to know a little bit more about this play, going in, read it. If you want to go for the ride as it's being seen by the playwright at this point, take it and just read it afterwards.
I like that idea.
So kind of like, because there's so many people, we did a world premiere called The Children earlier this year, which, was so layered. And if you had difficulties following the story, because if you missed a certain or didn't understand a certain area of where it was going, I think that you had less of an experience until you came out and started talking about it. Some people, like my mother, was here for that play, and I gave her the story because I said, look, you're going to enjoy it more if you know what's going on. And for some people, that's great. Other people want to discover it as it goes,
Just depends on what you like.
It is.
You do a lot of interesting things to bring the audiences, to get the audience involved in the shows. You do live wired performances, something called Illumination, something called Economic Stimulus for theater lovers, something called Late Night Saloon. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Right. Actually, it's Late Night Salon, not a saloon.
Salon, excuse me.
But yeah. But all of this stuff has come out of the fact that we like to get our audience involved and have them have an opportunity to talk about it. Because we find that they do want to talk about it. So our live art event is a $10 ticket. It's the Thursday after we open. We have complimentary pizza and beer in the lobby afterwards so people can hang out and talk. Every Friday night after we open, we have Late Night Salon where we have complimentary wine. And it's really about getting people to converse with each other. Because so many times people come and see a play and they want to talk about it, but then they go home and there's nobody to talk about it with.
Right.
So it's really designed to sort of allow people to get to meet the cast and actually ask questions and talk about it.
It's a fantastic way to do it. And I want to spend some time in the next segment. 45 seconds now, but I want to spend some time talking about The Children. Because honestly,
Sure.
The Children at Boston Court was one of the best shows that I saw in LA last year.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely fantastic. And I think our audience will be interested to find out the twist in there.
Yes.
We won't give it away quite yet.
Right.
Guys, we're talking with Executive Director of the Theater at Boston Court, Michael Seal. If you have any questions for Michael, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. And we'll be back on La La Land right here on CRN Digital Talk.